I'm Chad Nicefield from the band Wilson, and you're watching MetalkrantTV.
Never a way to shake it up. Feed it to me, I'll take it up. The more that you give, the more that I'll take. Yeah! The faster you go, the...
Thank you for taking time out for this interview. Welcome in the Netherlands.
Hey, anytime.
Can you introduce Wilson to the Dutch crowd?
Wilson is a band from Detroit, Michigan, USA. We're a rock and roll band that enjoys our good times just as much as our hard times. And so I suppose what I think of Wilson is the best Friday night on earth you have yet to experience when you come to see us play.
Even though it's not a Friday.
Every night's a Friday with Wilson.
Awesome. So how did the name Wilson come about? Because it's kind of a difficult name to find if you Google it online.
Yeah, we kind of got a... well, the name came up because we were drunk looking for a name for our band when we needed to put it on a flyer about 6 years ago. And all of us came from other bands, and we formed this band just to play rock and roll music and never really thought like anything else of it. Some of us were in college, so it was like, hey, this is a way for us to like get free beer in college and stuff like that, and we never really thought any further past that. So one drunken night, somebody, I think Jason, was like, just put Wilson on the flyer, man, you know, and it's just kind of stuck. We played more shows, and then we became the Weekend Warrior type sort of band back home, where we would play every, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, and just kind of never really went away, nor did we change it. It's like an old-timey type sort of feel, but it totally sucks when you're looking on Google or something like that to try to find Wilson, because you're going to get, like, Wilson Phillips, Brian Wilson, Gretchen Wilson, all the other musicians with the last name Wilson. Or on Facebook, you probably have somebody with the last name Wilson in your friends list,
So how has tour in the UK and Europe been for you so far?
It's been awesome. We've had a really good time. Hailstorm and Nothing More, they've been great people to be in the road with, great bands as well. We've never been here before, so every single day is like a new adventure. And like I said, like walking off of the bus and just figuring out, like, is it going to be cold or warm? And then, oh my God, are we close to something I can go see? Or, like, because in Paris we went to go see, like, because we had a day off, went to go see, like, everything we possibly could. And then in London we had a day off, so we went to go see everything we possibly could there. And then other times we just try to get the city center areas, after sound check if there's time, or before sound check, to try to see things that we read about or whatever it is,
Cool. Do you have a favorite place so far?
Well, I'd have to say probably my favorite has been London and Paris, but like I said, because I got to explore more there. The other cities have been great, but they haven't been like things where I got to take a whole day off and, mess around or whatever like I had in those places. But, like, when we were in Ireland, it was awesome, like, going to Belfast, seeing Castle Belfast, and Scotland was awesome. Last night was cool. We didn't get to, we were in Belgium, but we didn't get to really get into the city. Some of us did, but the venue and all the people were really rad. Tonight's venue is awesome, where we're here in Tilburg. So, yeah, I'm excited. I think tonight will be fun, too.
It should be.
Yeah.
So, and crowd-wise, you got a favorite crowd so far?
Every night's been awesome, honestly. Again, I'll go with London and Paris. London was a sold-out 3,500 cap room, in this legendary room called the Roundhouse. And then in Paris, it was just overwhelmingly awesome. Like, the reception was great. Every night's been, the reception's been really awesome. I don't think I really have much. Everything else is the same, because it's just those two places, maybe because I spent a little bit more time,
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
How's the new album coming along? Because I've read that you've got a new album coming up.
Yeah, it's going to get released in June, it looks like. It's done, it's recorded, it's currently being mixed, and hopefully we'll have some sort of stuff to show people relatively soon, But yeah, looking like June's going to be out, yeah, it's going to be awesome.
So will it be released in the UK and Europe as well?
Yeah, worldwide.
Cool.
Yeah, Razor and Tie is putting it out.
Nice. It's previous album. I couldn't find it anywhere here. I've actually looked at some
In the
couple of record
stores?
stores. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't released on physical copies over here at all, just digitally. We have, like, you can buy it on a web store over here. You know, we have
Yeah.
different web stores and whatnot, but in proper outlets, no, it wasn't released there. We released it ourselves, so
Oh, that's
yeah. We're pretty stoked on how it kind of turned heads and got into other places, like it, you know, it got over here or whatever, you know.
Definitely. So, what can people expect a new record to sound like?
I've been using this one with Full Blast Fuckery. Can I say that on TV? Okay, Full Blast Fuckery. It's like a maniacal punch and kick to the genitals. Like, nobody really knows. We don't really know exactly where we're punching or kicking, but we're just like punching and kicking you in your private areas as fast and hard as we can. And with his next record, it doesn't lose any of that attack, but just more precisely. Like, all right, in this song, we're going to kick you in the left genital or in the right ovary or whatever it may be, you know, whoever you are. Or maybe you have ovaries and genital and balls sacks. And yeah, some people do, yeah. And if that's the case, you have more area for us to kick.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I think that the only without being cheesy about it, Wilson has gotten a little bit of. We figured out what we liked about what we were doing live and on the other record, and we were to culminate that into this next one.
I'm on my way to hang with the devil, hang with the devil. Can't get away from the way you tempt me. Hang with the devil, hang with the devil. Won't be satisfied until it kills me.
Do you think "Hang with the Devil" is like an indication for the sound of the rest of the album?
Yeah, we released that one because we wanted to give people a taste of what we were working with, and also we're over here in Europe and there's lots of great things happening. So if you go look up what's going on with the band, we wanted something to give to them, you know, to keep their interest as well. But that song in general was chosen as like a bridge in between that record and this record. It kind of like has parts of that last record in it, and also indicates like some things that we're going into with the newest. I'm really excited to get this record out because it's definitely like a soundscape, a little bit different areas that we get to go into our uncharted territories for us as a band, and we're pretty pumped on it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Thanks.
Like, I'm looking forward to it
Thanks, Franka.
anyway. So, like, what influences your music? If did you have any influences?
You know, when I was a kid, my father and my mother grew me up on like things like Black Sabbath and Thin Lizzy and Nazareth and greats like that, and Led Zeppelin and things. So I've always had that in me. As I got a little older and was able to like make choices of my own, I met a group of friends and we were like super obsessed with things like Nirvana and Rage Against the Machine and Korn and all those bands. When the new metal movement happened, that was all instantly instilled into our blood, and Slipknot and things like that. And then when I got a little older from that, I started to listen to more like melodic, not really pop, but like indie or softer stuff. And then as I got a little older from them, I came back into like my roots, like Lamb of God, and so like I've been all over the place. And I think that in general, with every person in the band, we all share those same sort. The '90s, my favorite band ever is the Toadies, and which is kind of an uncommon band to really say, I suppose. But we all kind of share those same sort of, like, we're like a cultural mixing pot of Maj Podge musicians, you know? And I think that kind of like influences what we do. Like, we always think about it, and someday we'll be like, well, what would Dave Grohl do in this song? Or what would, this person do, or that person do? Or, what would Wilson do if we were in these shoes? Those sorts of things. So it's kind of interesting to explore those things and not just think like a metalhead or think like a rock and roll guy, but be like, oh, I love Nick Cave. I'm a huge Nick Cave fan, and like I like to think about the eeriness of that in our music as well.
Cool. So, what are your plans for the rest of 2015?
Well, we get back from this, and then we'll have a release date, and then we'll be touring. Hopefully we'll be back over here in the fall, but as of right now, there's nothing that I can announce because it hasn't been announced. But there's a bunch of touring that's going on. Yeah, very excited.
So yeah, my next question was gonna be when can we expect you back? But you kind of
I think that
indicated.
yeah, I feel like before the end of this year we'll come back and maybe do like a small headlining run or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, play with smaller crowds, smaller clubs. Hopefully great crowds.
Got
But
a small room in this venue as well.
yeah. Like these venues would have smaller rooms, come back and do it how we usually do it, which is a couple hundreds of handfuls of sweaty people going literally ape shit in a room, and the putrid smells of body odor everywhere, and beer and booze and hair flying, that sort of stuff. That's a Wilson show back home. So.
Is there any band that you would really love to tour with?
There's a lot of them. If we were to go with living right now, I would go with. I'd probably say the Foo Fighters. Just I respect their songwriting and their craft, and like I said, being a huge Nirvana fan, and on top of that, like Dave Grohl has, the personality of a god, in the rock world, in my eyes at least, he's shaped a lot of things. And you think about like how to be a good person and amounting the amount of success that you've had, he's a pretty good go-to, what would DG do or something,
That sounds cool. And finally, is there anything you'd like to say to the Netherlands?
Yeah, there's lots I'd like to say to the Netherlands. I suppose if I had to say one thing to the Netherlands, I would say, hi, I'm Chad from Wilson. Come out to our shows. Let's be friends.
Not even get ready to get kicked in the genitals?
Oh, and get ready to get kicked in the genitals, but I'll put a Band-Aid on it afterwards if it hurts too much.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for your time.